offense.
Well, we talked about earlier about how this is a team that just finds ways to win. They're going to go back and review this to see if, in fact, it was a touchdown. But, Joe, it's momentum swings, right?
Watch his body on top of the defender, Jesse.
Yeah.
Look at his legs.
Does that left elbow ever touch the ground before the ball crosses the plane?
You can see as he's laying atop J.Q. Hardaway, watch his legs. The lower body is not hitting the ground. Watch for the elbow.
It looked like the left elbow hit the ground there to me, but the question is, where was the football in proximity to the goal line?
Look at this elbow.
Like, I think the elbow's down right there, but where was the ball? And again, it was called a touchdown, so you need inconclusive video evidence to overturn this.
Ball's in his right hand and put away at the moment that that left elbow hits. But the ruling on the field is a touchdown. So unless you have the video evidence that says otherwise, there's no doubt that the elbow hits. But can you absolutely confirm that the ball wasn't there yet?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
And that is the case. Joey Gatewood with the 11-yard touchdown reception. And they did it in 3 minutes. A quick response with 5 plays.
You know, guys, Gatewood said this week he was going to get one against his former team, and he delivered on his word.
How about that, Katie? A guy that started his career as a quarterback playing for Gus Malzahn at Auburn, then goes to Kentucky, then goes to UCF before transferring here and switching positions. He's got a lot of ability, too. Big, athletic. He showed it off there.
Isaac Correndo started it off with an excellent kickoff return, and it put him in position. And then Joey Gatewood.
You know, guys, Mark Stoops told me at half, which seems like ages ago since his offense hasn't touched the ball yet, that they have to stay ahead of schedule. He said Louisville's extremely aggressive. So if we can be efficient in the run game, pick up 4 or 5 yards per carry, and stay ahead of the chains, we'll start to move the ball. He, of course, mentioned his guys up front. He said the protection has to be better. That was something he was upset about at the end of the first quarter. His big guys have to do their job on this drive.
Yeah, Katie, it's a good point. The big blue wall now, they really have to assert themselves up front. And I think getting guys like Barry and Brown involved in the jet sweep game, some reverses as well, getting to the outside, I think helps this rushing offense.
First offensive play of the second half for Kentucky. Wide open. And Cummings still going down to the 20-yard line. Isaiah Cummings, who went nearly 2 years without a catch, and last week had 3 and then does this.
I think it was Mason Reiger, the defensive end, that needs to run with him down the boundary on this play, but he doesn't. He just kind of turns around and lets him go. There's nobody back there. And we talked about Kentucky being down their top 2 tight ends in this game, and Cummings now shows up with a monster grab.
He's a local Louisville guy. Went to Male High School, where so many UL legends have gone, but he just went for 55 yards for the Cats. Leary looking for Davis in the end zone. Touchdown, Kentucky! Back and forth they go.
What a fantastic play design by Liam Cohen. A little bit of misdirection. They're faking a handoff to Ray Davis. Everything looks like a half roll for Devin Leary, working to his right, and they sneak the running back Davis out of the backfield on a wheel route. He runs by 2 Louisville defenders, and a perfect throw, dropping it right in the bucket. Nothing linebacker TJ Quinn can do.
2 plays, 59 seconds. So the third quarter for Kentucky has been a 100-yard kickoff return, and then the big play, 55 yards to Cummings, and then Davis on that touchdown catch. 3 touches of the ball for Kentucky in this third quarter, 2 touchdowns, 24-21 in a thrilling second half.
This game has got absolutely crazy. Devin Leary, great job really selling this, coming back, locating Davis with a perfect touch throw over top. When they've given Devin Leary time, Joe, in this game, he's made some really good-looking throws. Katie was telling us at the start of the drive that Mark Stoops wanted this offensive line to really step up. I think you've seen that here on pass protection on this drive. It's a good sign for Kentucky. Take a look at these numbers. First half, 97 total yards. That scoring drive, 75 yards in 2 plays.
Listen, Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator, is down on the field today. Right? So if you want your offensive line to play inspired, be galvanized, put a fire under them a little bit. You got your OC right there with them.
You got to be able to make that eye contact sometimes. That's right. And really have that connection. And it makes a difference.
Remember, Garendo had a big return last time. This will be Turner now on the return. And here he goes out past the 30-yard line.
It's like you're holding your breath every time somebody has the football.
Flag is down.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, number 85. Half the distance to the goal will be first down.
Reminder, tonight at 7 on ESPN is Florida State. Rodemaker at quarterback now against Florida. Right here on ABC at 7:30. It is #1 Georgia facing Georgia Tech.
Florida game too. Max Brown now playing for the injured Graham Mertz for the Gators, but that's a big task going up against the Florida State defense that's given up just 17 points a game.
Last week we were at Missouri. That was a great game. I loved what Max Brown brought to that.
Yeah, an added element and dimension with his ability running the football. I think the Gator offense is going to look a little bit different tonight because of that zone read game that he brings.
So after the penalty, ball on the 10-yard line, jet motion again, Coleman, and Coleman splits defenders for 9 yards.
I'm just waiting for a home run to happen at some point, right? Someone's going to break another one. You've got to. That's the kind of crazy third quarter this has been. And now both of these teams just trading punches. For Kentucky, it's been explosive big plays. And for Louisville, it's been more methodical, physical, matriculating the ball down the field.
Louisville opened up this second half with a 15-play scoring drive that took over 9 minutes and finished with a 4th down touchdown run. Meanwhile, Kentucky, the kickoff return and the 2 plays for a score. Plummer to the outside as he hits the open receiver, and spinning ahead is Thrash for 11 yards and a 1st down.
And it makes sense. You really haven't seen Louisville take a bunch of shots deep down the field because Kentucky's playing big zone coverages and their corners are giving a lot of cushion. So Louisville's just going to continue running these curl routes, these intermediate type routes, coming back to the football. And Jack Plummer, he's going to take those all day.
Final half minute of this third quarter. It has seen 28 points. Jordan hits the seam, and a ball came out. Ball came out at the end just as he was spinning for extra yardage. There is a fight for it.
What a great effort by J.J. Weaver from Kentucky in pursuit. Once Jordan got into the second level,
Kentucky comes out with it.
And look who has it. It's J.J. Weaver.
J.J. Weaver with the fumble recovery at the end of that big play by Jordan.
J.J. Weaver's a Louisville, Kentucky native from more traditional high school. He never quit on the play. Tremendous pursuit and effort. He's able to sort of rip that out with his right arm. Jordan puts it on the floor, and that is a massive turnover for this Kentucky defense. We want to talk about seizing momentum. What they've done here in the third quarter on special teams, on offense, and now finally on defense.
J.J. Weaver all on his own, knocking it out, recovering it, the first turnover of the game. And Jesse, only the 4th fumble that Louisville has lost during this magical run this season.
So if you're Liam Cohen here in a sudden change situation, Joe, do you take a shot? That last drive with just 2 plays, everything downfield, vertical, trying to show play action on first down. There's a lot of play callers throughout the country in situations just like this. After a turnover in this area of the field, you'd like to see if they can get one thrown over your head.
Liam Cohn, excellent play caller, 37 years old. You hear his name pop up for head coaching vacancies. He's had some great moments here today, including the touchdown we saw to Ray Davis moments ago. 20 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Back and forth they have gone, and then the first turnover of the game. Leary throwing back to Davis. Davis past midfield. Davis cuts it back to the 42-yard line.
The second play in a row, they've gone misdirection in the passing game, faking a handoff to Davis, rolling out one way, and throwing it all the way back across the field to their best offensive player.
Dueling touchdowns until J.J. Weaver had the football facing a 2nd and 3 to start the fourth quarter, trailing by a field goal. Ray Davis on the carry, and Davis only gets a yard. Moments ago, Katie with Coach.
Coach Brom, your team has delivered many times when they faced adversity this season. What kind of response do you need to see from your group right now?
Well, we got to get better. That was a bad quarter for us. Special teams has to be more solid. We've got to get stops on defense and offense. We can't turn it over. So about everything that went wrong did. So they got the momentum. So we got to get it back, and that's going to just be by playing hard and finding a way to tough it out.
Thank you.
Part of getting that momentum back, Katie, is getting a stop here defensively, but you're probably going to have to do it for 2 plays. This feels like go for it time for Kentucky.
3rd and 2. Devin Leary. Leary battered at midfield. Ball came out. There's a fight for it. Let's see what the officials rule.
It was the hit by T.J. Quinn that forced the ball out. And the question is, they're going to look at this to see if this is an incompletion or a fumble, and was the arm moving forward. That pass rush by Louisville that looked so good at the start of the game, it kind of gone away in the third quarter, but you saw it again right there.
You be the judge. Is the arm coming forward for an incomplete pass, or is that a fumble?
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 82 and number 4 were in the area. It will be 4th down.
And then they also rule on whether or not it was intentional grounding. They said it was a receiver in the area. So it is 4th down, 4th and 2. Kentucky trailing by a field goal. Just over 14 minutes to play in a game that would erase a lot of frustrations this season for the Cats. They're 1-9 on 4th down this year. The pitch. Davis. Gotta get it, and he does. Alderman had a chance, but Davis got past him.
And there's the tough running that you're accustomed to seeing from Ray Davis. He gets the pads low, low center of gravity, phenomenal balance. You've got to bring your legs and wrap up when you're trying to tackle Ray Davis. Alderman did not get that done. What a big gamble by Mark Stoops on 4th and 2, and their best offensive player pays it off.
This time Davis is wrapped up by Perry.
Well, they're trying to use the jet motion to slow down Benjamin Perry coming off the edge. They're trying to show, hey, we're going to give this jet to Varian Brown, so you can't come screaming off the edge. But Perry paid no attention to that and made a big play in the backfield.
That's 6 tackles for loss for Louisville.
It just feels like the energy in the stadium, Joe, is different right now in the fourth quarter.
Listen to that roar. End around Brown. Gets the block. Cuts up inside the 30 and tiptoes his way for more. Varian Brown, who had the 100-yard kickoff return.
It's misdirection by Liam Cohen. You're pulling a guard the other way. You're trying to get Louisville's defense to think this is going to the left. In reality, it's not. He's going to start this way and peel around and get a lead block. We've seen a lot of creativity from Liam Cohen in this game calling plays. And we talked about how it wasn't just going to be Ray Davis running it, right, conventionally, but But Berrien Brown and Jetson reverses would have to be a big part of it too. Liam Cohen right now is in a rhythm calling plays.
11 yards from Brown. A lot of traffic in the backfield as Larry gave to Ray Davis, and Wilson clogged it up. Liam Cohen looks into that play sheet. Second and 9, they're bringing pressure. Leary inside the 5, trying to go basket over the shoulder for Brown, but it's incomplete as he was covered by Perry.
Well, that was a zero blitz from Louisville. Defensive coordinator Ron English dialing it up at the right time, and everybody's one-on-one. There's no safety help deep, but there's one more guy than Kentucky can block. So Devin Leary's got to get rid of it early. And it now sets up third down. And an interesting decision now for Ron English if you're Louisville. Are you bringing pressure here again back to back? After getting home with that last cover 0 look, do you have the confidence to dial up another pressure here?
Third and 9. And a timeout was called.
Prior to the snap, timeout Kentucky. It's their first charge timeout of the half. It was prior to the play clock expiring.
Third down and 9. Devin Leary. And he put the Cats in position. Quarterback run goes nowhere. Just gobbled up immediately and taken down by Gelati.
It was the perfect front for that QB run because Louisville's running games and twists on both defensive ends, and they twist right into the QB draw. You could not have called a better defense if you're Ron English, defensive play caller for Louisville.
So that brings up Alex Rayner, who's in the top 10 among active kickers in college football. 9 of 10 on the season. This to tie the game from 46. And he does so. And isn't it fitting that in a rivalry game like this, with these two programs, and this kind of year with Louisville always having fourth quarter drama, it's tied up at 24 apiece. As Rayner continues his hot season. And give credit to J.J. Weaver. End of the third quarter, comes up with the strip, with the fumble recovery. Kentucky able to manage things to open up the fourth quarter, and it's tied up. And this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund, and we thank All-State for that.
I just think of the way Kentucky's responded, because to start the second half, Louisville got the ball. They took a long drive down the field that lasted more than 9 minutes. Score a touchdown, pad their lead, and you start kind of thinking, you know, this thing might be getting away here now at this point. And all of a sudden, the Berrien Brown kick return touchdown. Next offensive series, 2 plays score. Defense comes up with a fumble, and they just pay that off with the field goal. And it's a Kentucky sideline right now playing with a ton of confidence.
Rayner just tied the game, and now the short kickoff to the 14-yard line as Turner is on the return. And he makes it out to the 28. The All-State playoff predictor looks this way, and keep in mind, Louisville is still one of the 9 teams that can make the college football playoff. And you say, now how can that be? Folks, if Texas takes a loss in the Big 12 title game, and then you get chalk winning the SEC with Georgia, the Big 10, and Washington, there's the case for Louisville if, and it's a big if, they beat Florida State.
Yeah, we've been talking about the eye test, haven't been overly consistently dominant, but if they were to win out and Florida State beats the Gators tonight, all of a sudden from a resume standpoint, you know, the 3 wins against the top 25, including a big win against Notre Dame, helps their case.
There's a run by Garendo out to the 35-yard line. That was the high water mark. The circle, the game was October 7th when Notre Dame came in here as the number 10 team in the country, and Louisville just punched them right in the face, 33-20, and this place was roaring.
Right, and you think about, you know, comparatives and what goes on in the committee room, and if Ohio State were to beat Michigan today and get in as the number 2 team, that's a common opponent Louisville has with Ohio State, and they could say, well, Louisville was more impressive in that win. It's just something to consider.
Play action, Plummer, incomplete. And as you saw, Phillips in coverage against Brad.
I think the biggest issue for Louisville, though, is the loss against Pittsburgh.
Yes.
It's a team with 3 wins coming into this weekend, and that's something obviously the committee very, very aware of. So, I mean, it is possible. We're not saying it's impossible. It's probably more possible than I think a lot of people think at this point. But really, Louisville right now, none of that even matters if they don't win this football game. They need to worry about an in-state rival that they've lost 4 straight games to.
An in-state rival that has been forged against a very difficult schedule. Now 4 opponents currently in the top 10 for Kentucky. 3rd and 3. Plummer trying to extend the play and look at an option. May have to run it here on 3rd and 3. Ball came out. The ball came out. And it's J.J. Weaver again. J.J. Weaver with another fumble recovery here in the 2nd half.
I think it was De'Aaron Jackson, a linebacker, that had popped the football free. He punched it out, and Johnny on the spot. J.J. Weaver with another huge takeaway. Here's Jackson. Plummer doesn't do a good job with ball security, tucking the ball away, and you know, the football takes crazy bounces. You think that thing was going to go out of bounds, but it didn't. And J.J. Weaver again for the 2nd straight drive doesn't quit on the play, and he's there to pick it up. This has been the difference in the game right now. 2 turnovers, both for Kentucky's defense.
Kentucky taking over at the Louisville 22-yard line. This magical dream season for Louisville against their in-state rival that has had such choppy waters with the game against Georgia, Mizzou, Tennessee, Alabama, and then last week a disappointment against South Carolina. They can erase a lot of those frustrations right here.
It's such a good point, Joe. You think about the mindset, right? There was a time, you and I called the Florida game. They're 5-0, and you're thinking, is this the 2nd best team in the SEC East? They've won 1 game in their last 6, and certainly winning today, it's not going to erase all the pain from everything that's happened, but winning games like this can make things okay for a fan base moving forward. When you talk to their coaching staff and you talk to their players, this game just means so much, and now they have that opportunity here in the 4th quarter.
Davis trying to get out of the backfield. Davis upfield, inside the 10, into the end zone. How about these Cats?
Love the play design by Liam Cohen. You're getting him one-on-one with a linebacker, Jalen Alderman, on the screen, and Ray Davis in space is a problem. We haven't seen him do a lot of damage toting the rock in this game. 6 carries for 15 yards only on the ground, but in the 2nd half, they've thrown him the football. That's how they've gotten #1 touches, and man, he has answered.
J.J. Weaver, the linebacker. Boog, I agree with you. Jesse, I know you do too, that if you've watched ball closer this year, doesn't take much to say. Jaden Daniels taken down again. J.J. Weaver has decided to impact this game in a big way.
Yeah, right now he's completely taken this game over, and they're going to run a game of their own. They're going to start him over the left tackle way out here. He's going to loop to the inside. Louisville's offensive line not able to pick him up. And J.J. Weaver, the Louisville native, is making his presence felt here in the second half.
Lorenzo. He's taken down by Hayes.
Guys, Jack Plummer told me yesterday his greatest improvement this season is being able to construct comeback wins and flushing negative plays. Plummer said he's been able to move past his mistakes this season, come back and deliver for his team. No better opportunity to prove that than right now, guys.
Yeah, he's been doing it, Katie. 4 comeback wins this year. Normally very poised in moments like this.
4 comeback wins. That's the most Louisville's had since 2012. 3rd down and 11 for Plummer. And able to get the first down to thrash.
And there's a great example of that poise. This is going to be an in route from Thrash that takes a long time to develop. He actually takes an outside release, so it took a little bit longer than it normally would. And you see Plummer there just drifting to the left, finding the soft spot in the pocket to buy himself time. Nice job.
Plummer, play action, wants a shot. And that was denied at the last second by Phillips against Thrash.
That's a fantastic job by Phillips. He's given up some big ones this year. Gave up a hitch and go last week against South Carolina, but he did a great job of turning his head, locating the ball, and then swatting it away. Athletically, it is so difficult to play the corner position. I think it's one of the most difficult things in all of sports. Andrew Phillips did an outstanding job right there.
Defensive coordinator Brad White has such respect, says he's an elite level nickel, NFL level. Plummer just goes and hooks it up over the middle with his tight end, Kariski.
And that's the thing, if you're Jack Plummer right here, you don't have to do anything superhuman. Just execute the offense. Take your steps, read the coverage, and let the defense dictate who gets the football. That's one of the things I love about Brian Brom calling plays. Not everything is going to one guy. Defenses can't bracket someone or double somebody because anybody is a viable option on any given play. The open guy gets it.
3rd down and 1. Gorendo. He's denied. Stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. De'Eric Jackson and Wallace were involved on the tackle.
Now that's going to set up 4th down. This just feels like a huge moment here. It's going to be under 6 minutes to go. Kentucky, mass substitution, trying to get fresh bodies on the field. And of course, big number 0. Yep, Deion Walker right in the middle of that line.
They're 2 for 2 on 4th down today. 4th and 1. Gorendo, can he get there? He is driven back. The Kentucky front with Wallace and Ribka denying Louisville on 4th down.
It was Trayvon Ribka one-on-one against Michael Gonzalez that won at the point of attack. There's Ribka right there. He's celebrating because he made his presence felt. Ribka's right here. Watch him stand up the left guard. And there's a little pushback, and there's nowhere for Gorendo to go. This stout Kentucky D-line, the 2nd best in the SEC against the run, showing up at a massive critical moment. And Mark Stoops loves it.
Brad White's defense, Mark Stoops, of course, foundation of this program is tough defense. And Ribka says, quiet down here at Louisville. And now Ray Davis and that offense trying to put the game away with a touchdown lead and 5.5 minutes to play in what has been such an entertaining second half of action.
And so in this kind of situation, it's called 4-minute offense. You'd love to be able to just run the football and bleed the clock. And Kentucky has not had success running the ball in this game. Louisville's front 7 has been outstanding stopping the run. So you kind of get the feeling that Kentucky's going to hold on. Devin Leary's probably still going to have to make a couple throws.
He's made those throws for Ray Davis, 2 20-yard touchdown receptions. 2nd and 9. Play action. Here's an opportunity for Leary. Crossing route incomplete as it went a little low to Dane Key. Now a big 3rd and 9, Jesse.
It's the 2nd drop by Dane Key in this game, and now it sets up a massive 3rd down. The crowd's going to get loud. It's going to be hard for Kentucky's offensive line to hear the cadence and know when the snap's coming against an outstanding pass rush.
Been solid on 3rd down. Can he keep it up? 3rd down and 9. Louisville trying to get the ball back, maintain their status as a top 10 team. Leary drifting back, pressured. That ball's intercepted. Look at this. Brownlee on the return. Oh, what a mistake by Devin Leary. He had Gelati in his mug, and Brownlee secures it. Louisville's in prime position.
Gelati's lined up at defensive tackle on the inside on this 3rd down, and he's able to get to Devin Leary. I think Leary was obviously trying to throw this ball out of bounds, but Gelati got to him first, and he met him. And Leary was never able to follow through on the throw. And what a critical mistake by Kentucky's offense at the worst possible moment. And there he is, Jarvis Brownlee, a guy that we weren't sure was going to play because of an injury, coming up with a big-time interception, giving the offense the ball back now on the 25-yard line.
Golden opportunity for Louisville. Jordan can't get much against De'Aaron Jackson. Devin Leary, all the experience, all the pressure football. Gelati gets right in his face, and Leary knew it.
It's been that kind of season for Devin Leary too, Joe. Came into this game, 9 interceptions, leads the SEC. We talked about them not being able to have consistency, and for this entire game up to that point, up to that play, Joe, he'd been doing a great job of being efficient, making good decisions, putting his football team in a position to win.
I'm on 2nd and 8. Plummer is wrecked, driven back by Hayes.
Yeah, you're seeing other guys outside of just Deion Walker now taking over. It was Ripka on the last drive, and now big Josiah Hayes at 320 pounds, lined up at the nose guard. He's just going to beat the center, and then there's a guard coming over trying to slant to get him. Pressure from the outside from Walker forces Jack Plummer to have to step up, and Hayes is there to clean up the mess.
3rd and 14. Plummer goes underneath, and that's down to the 21-yard line as he connects.
Plummer throws complete to Nate Parisi.
It's a nice job to just get a lot of that yardage back. Make this field goal a whole lot easier. Needing a touchdown now, they're going to go.
3 minutes to play. 4th and 6. Offense will stay on the field. Fourth down for Louisville. Plummer looking for something, being chased, gets rid of it, and they get it to Huggins Bruce. A little magic from Jack Plummer.
We talked about the poise that Jack Plummer has shown throughout the course of the season. 4 come from behind wins coming up to this one. That play may make it 5.
And now the extra point to tie the game, and it's Nick Lopez, who didn't play until last week. And with 2:33 left in regulation, the team that has had all the come from behind wins this year, could they have another Fourth down magic from Jack Plummer. Amari Huggins Bruce with the touchdown reception. And this rivalry is living up on the opening kickoff. We had penalties throughout. The pushing, the shoving, the jawing, the punching. And they're battling deep into the late rounds, 31-31. Ray Davis looking for something. Ray Davis getting loose.
I know he hasn't done much on the ground in this game, but every time number one has the football, you just hold your breath, because this guy's proven week in and week out he can hit the home run. He's had 2 receiving touchdowns here in the second half as Jack Plummer and the rest of this Louisville team look on. This game far from over.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play. Leary with time goes downfield, overthrows the intended target, Robinson.
See Louisville right here deciding to play man-to-man coverage, loading the box, anticipating Ray Davis maybe getting some more touches out of the backfield. But you put these guys on islands one-on-one, and Devin Leary wants to take a shot.
Second and 10 for Leary. What a great throw and into the hands of Brown. And they are in range for a chance to win it.
Wow, this is a big-time throw because Leary's fitting this in between a corner and a safety. He uses his eyes to try to freeze the safety in the middle of the field. This thing has to come out, and he puts it in the perfect place. I'll tell you, that's big time, too, for a guy that just threw a critical interception that led to a Louisville touchdown. To answer like that on the very next drive is impressive.
Starting safety for Louisville, Cam Kelly, is still down at the end of the. Moments ago, Devin Leary hit Varian Brown on a 23-yard reception. And that has a first down for Kentucky at the Louisville 37-yard line. This incredible season that Louisville has strung together with so many fourth-quarter comebacks of their own, but here in a wildly dramatic second half where we have had 45 points scored in the second half alone. It is Kentucky that has survived choppy waters with a difficult SEC schedule, taking top 10 Louisville to the limit, and now trying to take the lead with just over a minute to play. Ray Davis. Here goes Ray. Say goodbye to Ray into the end zone. And the Cats are in control. A 37-yard touchdown by Ray Davis.
We talked about the importance of Ray Davis needing to be disciplined running the football, going where the blockers are and letting holes open up. He did it right there. That was tremendous, patient running. And he hits yet another home run now to give Kentucky here the lead late.
Such an incredible life story. He was in and out of foster care. His parents were in and out of prison. He was taken in by legal guardians who helped change the course of his life, from boarding school football at Trinity Pauling to Blair Academy to now his third different college football program where he's rushed for 1,000 yards. And on this rivalry Saturday, he has emerged as the star of this second half.
On the defense number 3, that penalty is declined from the Tribe Court.
Well, it was good patient running because he's got his tight end Isaiah Cummings coming around to block Ben Perry right here, but he's got to take his time, let it happen before he hits it. You know, there's a lot of running backs in this moment that would have tried to bounce it outside. He cut it back. He made a defender miss, and like we've seen all season, He's able to hit the gas, and it's daylight. There was a time this year after the Florida game that people were talking about Ray Davis being a dark horse Heisman candidate. The second half of the season's been tough sledding for them running the football, but catching the ball in the third quarter, now getting it done on the ground, Kentucky has responded here on the road. And if you're Jack Plummer, Joe, you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket now. The minute to go in a 2-minute situation. This is a very explosive offense. They've got receivers, they've got running backs, they've got guys that can get it done. It takes only one play. I can't wait to see how this thing finishes.
Kentucky has scored 31 points in this second half. And they're playing keep away with all the big returns we have seen this year. As Turner is wrapped up at the 27-yard line. 56 seconds to go. Louisville's had the comeback wins. Can they pull off another one on this rivalry Saturday?
So they've averaged 5.9 plays per touchdown drive this year. That's the fewest in the ACC. They've got running backs that can do it. They've got receivers that can run by you. They've got receivers that are good after the catch. It just takes one.
Plummer steps up, and that ball is knocked away by Hairston as Kariski was trying to secure it.
He's been so good, Hairston, this year in these zone coverages of keeping his eyes on the quarterback, but also reading route concepts so that he can break on the ball when it's thrown. He just excels at this, and this is why he leads the SEC with 5 picks.
Plummer gets it quickly to Jordan. Jordan will get upfield and then get out of bounds. As Harrison was there to meet him. 45 seconds remain. Full 3 timeouts.
They're going to have to earn it too, Joe, because Kentucky right now, they're just playing keep the ball in front of them and then rally to it and try to make tackles in the field of play to bleed this clock and obviously force Louisville to use their timeouts.
Third and 4, they drop 80. Look to check down. Then he hooks it up over the middle for the first down as he's able to get it to Thrash. So here we go. Clock stops with the old clock rules under 2 minutes. The timeouts are available to Louisville, and they will use one here with 38 seconds remaining.
It's been interesting watching Kentucky on this drive defensively. They're just rushing 3. They've got Keaton Wade kind of back spying for Jack Plummer in case he decides to get out and try to extend like he did on that critical 4th down where he threw a touchdown pass. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been unbelievable. And listen, we brought it up in terms of the kind of season that Kentucky has had, where they came in with high expectations, and they felt like they had the pieces because of the transfer quarterback, the transfer running back, and then they end up playing a schedule, the SEC alone, but a schedule that produces 4 top 10 teams. This erases a lot of those issues.
It erases a lot of it. Of course, it's not going to make everything go away. I know it's been hard for Kentucky fans as well because in state they've been watching what Louisville's been doing all year in Jeff Brom's first year getting to a conference championship game. They've seen the success Missouri had. That was supposed to be Kentucky and Mark Stoops this year.
Can they hold on here and upset top 10 Louisville, or will Plummer get something done? That's a good play defensively as Thrash was taken down that time.
So Louisville uses timeouts here, back-to-back plays. Try and save as much clock as possible, but man, you've seen the speed of Kentucky's defense all game long, right, Joe? And their ability to go sideline to sideline, rally to the football. They've done a nice job tackling in the open field.
Saw that from Jansen Dunn right there. Jesse, on Sunday, December 3rd, it'll be Selection Day, the reveal of the final college football playoff rankings. That's noon Eastern on ESPN. Of course, so much still to be decided. We started this day with Louisville being one of 9 teams still alive, as slim as could be, but still one of 9 teams to still be alive to make the college football playoff.
And you just look ahead. Florida State tonight without Jordan Travis, a quarterback, in the ACC title game against this Louisville team. You know, the Pac-12 championship, Washington-Oregon, is a game that Oregon can easily win. The SEC with Bama and Georgia, that could go any way. There's so much chaos possible on the horizon.
2nd and 7. Plummer. That ball was thrown to the inside of Chris Bell. He took that hit from Dunn.
And they're lucky that wasn't picked, too, because tips lead to picks, especially when you're throwing over the middle of the field. You kind of hold your breath. Location of throws so critical right now. That time trying to slow down Bell in the zone, just not on the same page.
Third down, 3-man rush. Plummer trying to get upfield is Gatewood. Remember, Gatewood had the touchdown earlier and pushing that pile ahead, still inside the 40. But look at the clock continuing to count down.
I don't know if Kentucky's defense was actually purposely trying to hold him up and not let him get down on the ground.
So that came at a cost, utilizing a timeout. But think about how many precious seconds came off the clock for just a few extra yards.
It's just not, the risk is not worth the reward to get a few extra yards, but bleed that many seconds off. Go back and take a look at this, and you can kind of get an idea of sort of what this meant. 24 seconds of game clock when he makes the catch. You just got to try to fall down. I'm not saying it's easy. There's literally 75 people in there on that pile. It's awareness of the situation in the game right now.
Louisville's out of timeouts.
And, you know, it's in these moments offensively, too. Your best players have to touch the ball. And I know we've been talking about how the open guy gets it, but Jamari Thrash has been the go-to guy. And I know he's got the hand injury all season long. He's been their big play wide receiver. It's a big moment for him. And if you're Jack Plummer, you're trying to find your best matchups.
15 seconds remain. No timeouts for Louisville. Plummer to the outside as he gets it to Jordan. Jordan's got to get out, and he does with 9 ticks of the clock remaining.
You only have time for maybe 2 plays left if you're Louisville here, but you don't have any timeouts. So you're throwing to the sideline. You're trying to get it to somebody to get out of bounds quickly. You can't be holding on to the football too long either here if you're Jack Plummer. You got to have a plan. If things aren't there right away, you just got to throw it away, and you got to throw it out of bounds quickly. It's got to be a line drive out of bounds to save the clock.
This dream season for Louisville. It comes down to this. He's going to loft it to the end zone. That ball is intercepted. That is Jordan Lovett to put a cap on it. Who said this win would feel so good? Well, does it ever? Big Deion Walker, he was a star earlier today. Plummer gave it his best shot. They may be checking to see if there's any time left on the clock. Lovett secured it in the end zone. And they're putting L's down on that Kentucky sideline.
The ruling on the field is an interception. That play is under video review.
Well, you don't see many Hail Marys from the 32-yard line, but this was it. I thought they had an opportunity to maybe try to dial something up to get down a little bit closer. He threw it down there, but none of the Louisville receivers were able to get that deep, and that was an easy interception for Lovett. And Mark Stoops, for the 5th straight time, is going.
Mark Stoops said to us the other day, he sized up their season. He goes, yeah, listen, we got to get out of our own way. No stupid penalties, can't kill ourselves, but you reflect. They played #1 Georgia. They played a Missouri team who's top 10. They played a Bama team who was peaking and playing the best all season. Tennessee team with an offense when their offense actually played well in a competitive game. And then, yes, the disappointment against South Carolina.
After further review, the ruling on the field is an interception is confirmed. Please, timer, please put 2 seconds on the game clock. 2 seconds. Thank you.
But you come here on the road against your in-state rival when they're having the best year they've had in some time, and you do this, makes up for things.
Well, it says a lot about this football team in wanting to finish the season, understanding the task at hand, and just trying to create positive momentum heading into the offseason now, into the bowl season, and then into the offseason after that. I mean, these rivalry games, especially against an in-state opponent, it just changes so many things. And listen, it would have been easy for them after that game last week and that loss against South Carolina for the second straight year to just want to pack it up and just finish the season.
When he said, don't do anything stupid, don't kill ourselves. Kentucky, 0 penalties today in a second half that saw 45 points in a thriller with a 100-yard kickoff return.